Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Citi Prime News, live from our studio at number 11, Dr. Martin Loop in Adabraka, Accra. My name is Adjoatin Krama Dominga. Coming up, Supreme Court dismisses statutory application brought against Asin Central MP Kennedy Japan by investigative journalist Anas Arumiyao Anas as the Apex Court throws out a case by Child Rights International against the state on clearing children from the streets.
This is a genuine case. It's just that we couldn't come up before them. So we'll study all the issues and then probably appear before them and then so that they can look at the substantive case. I strongly believe that there's merit in the substantive case.
Also coming up, Ejura police begin investigations into death of 56-year-old worker at the Ejura government hospital whose body was found hanging on a mango tree.
The person who called me, he said his younger brother's chance on this particular incident when they were in the bush hunting for mangoes. So they quickly ran home to inform the senior brother who also called me.
Still ahead, minority in parliament raises concerns over the new minister for roads and highways, Francis Asenso-Boakye's persistent snub of parliament.
The former road minister was extremely vigilant to this house, religiously appeared and answered questions. It is not a good start for him that for 3 times since he became road minister is unable to appear to answer his questions.
And later, residents of Yautrema Krom in the Klu electoral area within the New Drabin South municipality wage war on drug peddlers and other criminals in Koforidua.
Particular area, we have bunkers like 3 surrounding the area. So let's imagine, how do you raise a child in a neighborhood like this? It's not easy.
Please stay for details of these and more in the next 30 minutes. The bulletin is live on Facebook on Citi 97.3 FM, also live on all our partner stations across the country. In the Western region, we're on Premier 100.5 FM in Takoradi, Beach 105.5 FM, also in Takoradi. In the Bono region, find us on Greener 95.9 FM in Sunyang. In the Ashanti region, this is Orange 107.9 FM in Kumasi. In the Volta region, you can find us on Holy 98.5 FM in Aplau. In the Northern region, Dasuma 99.1 FM in Yendi. In the Upper East region, this is Word 88.3 FM in Zuarungu. And in the Upper West region, find us on Bugli Radio 88.6 FM.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Grateful you could join us. Let's begin from the courts. The Supreme Court has dismissed a case brought against the state by Child Rights International, seeking, among other things, that the government must take steps to clear children from the streets and offer them education as guaranteed in the 1992 Constitution. The 7-member panel court, presided over by Her Ladyship Justice Gertrude Araba Isaba Tokono, noted in their ruling that the case was dismissed mainly because lawyers for the plaintiff did not invoke the original jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. Hence, the appearance was deficient, even though they have a genuine case. Speaking to Citi News, Executive Director of Child Rights International, Bright Appiah, expressed disappointment, but noted that they will study and finalize the ruling and strategize to fight the case again.
Made that a pronouncement, and clearly they've expressed their opinion. For that matter, I'm sure the lawyers will study the case. And if there is a need for us to come back, we'll do so. But you heard from the bench that this is a genuine case. It's just that we couldn't come up before them. So we'll study all the issues and then probably appear before them, and then so that they can look at the substantive case. I strongly believe that there's merit in the substantive case that needs to be looked at so that we can protect our children. And this is a very important case for us. So we're not going to stop now, depending on how the judgment is. So when the lawyers are done studying it, we will see the way forward.
You heard Executive Director of Child Rights International, Bright Appiah, will stay with the court because the Supreme Court has once again dismissed an application for certiorari brought against the Member of Parliament for Asin Central Kennedy Ohene Japan by Anas Arumiyao Anas. The 5-member panel, presided over by Justice Gertrude Tokono, upheld the High Court's ruling, which threw out a 25 million Ghana cedis defamation suit filed by the investigative journalists against a member of parliament and awarded a cost of 50,000 Ghana cedis against Anas 6 years ago. Anas accused the lawmaker of defaming him and commenced legal action against Mr. Japan in 2018. The Supreme Court, by majority decision, dismissed the case today. Lawyer for Kennedy Japan wanted cost awarded against Anas, but that was declined by the Supreme Court. Now, Kennedy Japan's lawyer Ralph Japan spoke to the media after the proceedings.
As we witnessed in court, this was an application called certiorari. It's a prerogative right. Praying for another to set aside the judgment of the High Court, a 70-page judgment on the basis of what? Bias, and without jurisdiction. A court of competent jurisdiction, such as the High Court, has delivered a 70-page judgment, and you bring such a frivolous application here before this court. I mean, so what the court did was in the right direction. Simplicity dismissed the application. If you heard what the court said, they said by a majority decision. So let's wait, and then when we are finished with a copy of the entire ruling, hopefully by Monday, I believe all of us can have the opportunity and time to dissect. He was asking this court, the Superior Court, by an application called certiorari. So, the Supreme Court has supervisory jurisdiction over the High Court. So what he basically brought here was that the court, General Jurisdiction 11, the judgment which was delivered by that court was done without jurisdiction. And for me, it doesn't make sense. But as I indicated earlier, let's wait and, when we have the full complement of the ruling of the court, we can...
You heard lawyer for Kennedy Japan, Ralph Japan. Let's move away from the courts now to Parliament. And the minority has cautioned Minister of Roads and Highways, Francis Assenso-Boakye, against what they deem as a persistent absence from the House to answer questions on matters relating to his outfit. The caucus says since the minister was nominated to steer the affairs of the Roads and Highways Ministry, he has failed for the third time to be in Parliament on days he is scheduled to answer questions. Here's the minority leader, Dr. Kisiel Atufosin, and the minority chief whip Gavins Kwame Abuja, raising concerns over the delegation of a deputy minister for the sector, Stephen Jalula, to deal with the questions on the floor of Parliament.
Our colleague, the former road minister, was extremely diligent to this house, religiously appeared and answered questions. It is not a good start for him that for 3 times since he became road minister is unable to appear to answer his questions. It's not a good start for him. For today, we will reluctantly agree for I'm agreeing to the variation of the orders. For today, because the speakers were at conclave, we cannot agree something with
the application actually was for the variation of the order of business, so we take the addendum.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, it's just the preamble to the so
we will come to that.
So I agree for the other paper to be varied.
You heard some members of the minority complaining on the absence of Francis Assenso-Boakye in Parliament, but the majority chief whip, Frank Anodompre, believes the concerns raised by the minority group is unnecessary.
Speaker, I think our colleagues should not, with respect to my whip and the leader of the minority leader, we shouldn't raise the temperature unnecessarily, the greatest of respect, because the whip has indicated and he has communicated duly your concerns. I don't know if you are repeating just to emphasize, but the fact must be told. The early weeks when the minister was, the honorable member was nominated, I think that very week he came to this house, the record can bear me out, and answered a number of questions. You recall we were in the business committee meeting, and I think it was the deputy leader who even expressed worry that the man just assumed the ministry. So why are we pushing him to come and answer so soon? So please, leader, with respect. When he was the Minister for Works and Housing, he has always been in the house. Of course, you are borrowing what was happening.
Very well, leaders, thank you very much. And we have an agreement. Let's proceed.
They should not be worried at all.
Frank Anodompreh is the majority chief whip. Now, the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission has slightly reduced electricity tariff for residential consumers but maintained the price paid by lifeline consumers as well as residential consumers within the consumption bracket of 0 to 300 kilowatts per hour. PURC says the marginal tariff reduction of 6.56%, which is part of its quarterly review policy, will benefit residential consumers within the consumption bracket of 301 kilowatt hour and above. The Commission, however, says water tariff for all customers classes remain unchanged for the period under review. PURC, in a statement signed by its Executive Secretary, Dr. Ishmael Aka, says the announced tariff will be in place from April 1 to June 30, 2024. Moving on now, the Ghana Mines Workers Union of the Trade Union Congress is skeptical about the proposed recapitalization plans put forward by the Future Global Resources FGR, the operators of the Bogoso Prestea mines. These doubts stem from a series of demands made by workers highlighting FGR's lack of demonstrated financial capacity to effectively manage the mine since assuming control in 2020. However, despite FGR's intentions to inject capital into the mines, the General Secretary of the Mine Workers Union of TUC, Abdul Momin Gbana, emphasizes lack of trust in Future Global Resources' ability to fulfill its obligations.
The investor called Blue Holders, owners of Future Global Resources, have demonstrated to the whole country that indeed they do not have the capacity to run the mine. And so if today we are being told by a press statement that they are committed to a recapitalization subject to some restructuring, what they call a restructuring, then clearly this is something that the union and its members have taken with a pinch of salt. We have taken this press statement with a pinch of salt because we have absolutely no reason to believe what have been put out there. If indeed Future Global Resources was committed to investing in this asset, it would have manifested itself right from the year 2020. Between 2020 and now, like I said, no investment of significant value has gone into the Bogoso Prestea mine. No investment of significant value has gone into the Bogoso Prestea mine. And so it's important that we all understand that Future Global Resources, and for that matter, the statement they have put out there, is not intended in any way to recapitalize this mine. Now, as you may all recall, the Minerals Commission served Future Global Resources a 120-day notice. And this is in accordance with the Minerals and Mining Act.
Well, Abdul Momin Gbana further called on the government to immediately withdraw the company's mining lease and hand over same to potential investors, citing previous unsuccessful attempts to obtain proof of financial capabilities from the Minerals Commission.
It's important that given where we are now, and given the fact that Future Global Resources has not been able to show proof or show cause why the mining lease should not be withdrawn, this period expired on December the 13th, 2023. Between December and today, we're in February, heading towards March. That's about 2 months. Future Global Resources has not been able to show cause. And so we do not really know what exactly the Minerals Commission is doing now. And by extension, the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources. We expect the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources to act more decisively on this matter. The ministry must act a lot more robustly on this matter to bring this matter to a more decisive closure. Because as far as we are concerned, if workers' salaries have been in arrears since December, Future Global Resources that claims that it is contemplating recapitalization have not even been able to meet its short-term obligations. How then can we trust that Future Global Resources pay the statement that has been put out there?
That was General Secretary of the Ghana Mine Workers Union of TUC, Abdul Momin Gbana. Away from that, a former executive director of the Ghana Integrity Initiative, Vital Axim, is urging members of parliament to be measured in promises they make during campaigns. His advice follows comments by MP for Zebila Kletos Avoka suggesting that legislators are forced to be corrupt due to the excessive monetary demands from constituents. In an interview with City News, the Anti-Corruption Crusader says citizens must also change their attitude towards placing excessive demands on MPs.
You must not think that you are the only person that can go to parliament and be ready to do everything on this earth to go to parliament. So from the politician, that's what change of attitude. Yes, I'm a legislator. I am going there as one. I cannot promise you these things. Then on the side of the citizens, the constituents, we need to change attitude that though we don't have to make demands on parliamentarians because they don't control resources and they don't have enough of their personal resources to be meeting our demands. They have a salary, yes, they have certain allowances, they may have some perks in sitting as board members and other and chances to travel abroad and make some per diem.
Vital Axim is former executive director of the Ghana Integrity Initiative and an anti-corruption crusader. You're still listening to the Citi Prime News. Still ahead, Ejura police begin investigations into death of 56-year-old worker at the Ejura Government Hospital whose body was found hanging on a mango tree. Please stay for details.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
The Heritage Caravan 2024 is getting closer and closer. Now let's get ready for a road trip of a lifetime to discover Ghana from Sunday the 3rd of March to Sunday the 10th of March on the Heritage Caravan 2024. Pack your bags and let's set off on this spectacular tour for 8 exciting days through 14 incredible regions of Ghana with the promise of a rich cultural experience, introspective historical visitations, and exhilarating field days with nature. A journey full of fun, education, information, wonderful memories, and great bonding moments await you on the Heritage Caravan 2024. Follow all Citi TV and 97.3 Citi FM social media handles for updates with the hashtag Heritage Caravan 2024. The Heritage Caravan 2024 is powered by Citi TV in partnership with the Ghana Tourism Authority with support from Citi FM, and it's proudly sponsored by the National Lottery Authority, Gold PLC, Holland Insurance, GB Foods, Omnibasic Bank, Bell Pack, and Bell Beverages. Terms and conditions apply.
Wrong half on the central. Intamale Pabaka Oka, Ghana for you namun somewhere.
Citi TV is live on DSTV, GoTV, and HD+. On DSTV, find us on channel 363. On GoTV, we're on channel 117, and on HD+, get us on channel 108. On a digital TV, run a new search, but take note that without an antenna, you cannot access Citi TV. Citi TV can be accessed on any free-to-air digital box like the GoTV and HD+ boxes. Citi TV, it's your world.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
You're welcome back. President Akufo-Addo has praised what he describes as a changing phase and transformation of the Ghana Police Service, noting it is worth emulating by other state agencies. According to the president, the transformation in the police is best reflected in the facelift by the police headquarters by the leadership of the Inspector General of Police, Dr. George Ekufu-Dampare. Speaking at the State of the Nation addressing Parliament on Tuesday, the president said his government has equipped the police service than any government in recent times.
We want our children and grandchildren to grow up in a safe atmosphere. And the Ghana Police Service played the lead role in this. Again, government has performed most creditably. The police are much better equipped than they have ever been, and their increased visibility on the streets goes a long way to reassure the community. The changing image of the police is perhaps best exemplified by the dramatic facelift they have given to the frontage of the police headquarters on the Ring Road in Accra. It is beautiful, and I recommend it to all institutions and indeed households.
You heard President Nana Akufo-Addo. Now, away from that, police at Ejura in the Ashanti region have commenced investigations into the death of a 56-year-old worker at the Ejura Government Hospital whose body was found hanging on a mango tree last Sunday. The deceased, identified as Safo Boachi, was a father of 3 and from a royal family in Ejura. The assembly member for the Ahim Boboano electoral area, Samo Kojokwa Sam, tells Citi News that the deceased decomposing body has since been buried and the police have commenced investigations to determine the actual cause of the incident.
The incident happened on Sunday around 12 o'clock p.m. I had a call from residents of my electoral area reporting the incident to me. But according to the person who called me, he said his younger brother's chance on this particular incident when they were in the bush hunting for mangoes. So they quickly ran home to inform the senior brother, who also called me. Hurriedly, I also called my leaders in the community, that is the chief of the area, Nana Yabo Akodie, who is the chief of broadcast, and he also called some 2 elders together with myself, rushed to the bush, and we discovered that it is true. So we also reported the issue to the police, team up with the NADMO and the environmental health officers, visited the scene again to do the necessary or the needful. Meanwhile, we have also invited, informed the chief of the traditional council, that is a Gra traditional council.
You heard the assembly member for the Ahimbobuano electoral area at the Ejura in the Ashanti region, Samuel Kojokwa Sam. Moving on now to the Eastern region, some concerned residents of Yautre Macrom in the Klu electoral area within the New Jabin South municipality of the region have vowed to make their community a no-go area for drug peddlers and other criminals. This warning comes after the assemblyman for the area organized community members to destroy slums and set ablaze wooden shelters were served as hideouts for the hoodlums. Speaking to Citi News, some residents narrated the experiences with suspected criminal elements.
I personally have been a victim. That's my nephews. They closed from school, and when they were coming back home, they faced such problems with these junkies. They tried raping them.
We realized one of the guys has been robbed, beaten up by these bunker guys. What is happening? Where are you going? They are all humans. And what this? No, we are not going to tolerate this any longer. We are asking the media men, the police officers out there, the security personnel to come to our aid.
You heard some residents of Yautre Macrom in the Klu electoral area within the New Jabin South municipality of the Eastern region. Now, the assembly member for the electoral area, Umar Isaka, expressed worry over the impact of the activities of criminals on school children in the area.
Particular area, it's not easy to raise a child in this area. It's either he end up being a junkie or he end up taking drugs and all that. So it's really a very big challenge. As I'm talking to you, this particular area, we have bunkers like 3 surrounding the area. So just imagine, how do you raise a child in a neighborhood like this? It's not easy. He would definitely, the probability of that child also growing up to be one of these people is about 70%. So it's really a very big challenge raising a child in this particular area. So we are pleading with the media, with the security, that they should come to our aid.
That is the assembly member for the Klu Town electoral area within the New Jabin South municipality of the Eastern region, Umar Isaka. Meanwhile, Citi News understands that the Koforidua Divisional Police Command has lauded the efforts, an initiative by community members, and pledged to promptly help them in protecting lives and properties. Let's move on now. The Association of Ghana Industries is expressing support for the efforts by the Tree Crop Development Authority and the Oil Palm Development Association of Ghana, together with the Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority and the National Security, for embarking on an exercise to crack down on smuggled vegetable oil on the Ghanaian market. During the swoop yesterday, some 8 shops were ordered to cease operations for allegedly selling smuggled vegetable oil, while some shops' attendants were picked up for investigation. Speaking to City News, the Greater Accra Regional Chairman of the Association of Ghana Industries, Chonam Apelu, says this action by the task force is a step in the right direction.
This is an extremely welcoming news, and AGI is in total support of this initiative. In fact, it's one of the initiatives that we've been asking government to undertake for several years now. It appears too late, but it's always better late than never. So we are in full support of this operation. The truth is that AGI members have capability to produce cooking oil, for example, that is not only able to supply Ghana, but to be able to supply the entire West African market. So we actually have capacity to produce. And most of the challenges we are facing is because of the fact that we are importing products, both finished and raw materials. And that is affecting the economy greatly. The forex situation, the forex challenges we're facing, partly is due to these menace of the importation of this product. So we always believe that the solution is to find a way of protecting smuggled products into our market. Whilst at it also help local industries to expand to be able to supply the entire Ghanaian and the West African market.
Meanwhile, Chonam Apelu also refuted claims by some retailers that they resort to foreign oil due to the scarcity of locally made vegetable oil in Ghana.
So that is not accurate. It's not accurate because our local manufactured product, cooking oil, are all over in the market. In fact, even the Association of the Distributors actually acknowledge how our products are readily available in the market. So that's not accurate. However, we will continue to deepen our distribution channels to ensure that the products we are producing reach a part of the country. But that also is not an excuse for importing smuggled products to the country. What is wrong, and all of us should come together to condemn those acts of smuggling products into the country.
That was Chonam Apelu. He is Greater Accra Regional Chairman of the Association of Ghana Industries. Moving on now, the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission, GTEC, in a bid to fast-track the application for accreditation for tertiary institutions, has launched the Accreditation Management Information System. The new platform is to enable universities apply for accreditation of programs without the need to physically visit the Commission's offices. The platform also offers real-time updates on the processes and status of applications and enhances transparency and accountability for all parties involved. Acting Director General of GTEC, Professor Ahmed Jinapo Abdullahi, during the launch of the program in Tamale, said the AIMS platform would modernize the tertiary education space.
Previously, the Commission accredited an average of 400 to 600 programs every quarter. But with the new committee, they successfully accredited 1,024 programs in the last quarter of this year, 2023. We are very confident that in no time, all tertiary institutions in the country will come on board because the benefits of the AMIS are huge. And I cannot imagine any tertiary institution opting out. I am very sure that others are itching to join. In this era of technology and digitization, we cannot afford to remain where we were 10 years ago, because the world has moved fast-paced, and so we have no option but to move along. AMIS is done elsewhere and has proven to be an effective, efficient, and resourceful as well as a useful tool for smooth accreditation processes. We are determined to rate the tertiary education space of unregistered programs and institutions and to make sure that any program run by any institution is duly accredited.
Professor Ahmed Jinapo Abdullahi is Acting Director General of the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission, GTEC. Let's do some sports before we go. And former Black Stars defender Sheila Iliasu has raised doubts about the practicality and sustainability of the presidential policy on football set to be launched by President Akufo-Addo, citing the limited time frame to the 2024 polls. Sheila's concerns stem from the announcement made by the president during the State of the Nation address, which He says the government will be centered on scouting, grooming, and developing talent at the grassroots level in partnership with the Ministry of Youth and Sport and the Ghana Education Service. Speaking to City News, Sheila expressed apprehension about the policy, referencing a past initiative by the late Ben Kofi that failed to produce lasting results.
The question we should ask ourselves is the late Ben Kofi came up with 5-year development plan. Some of us were part of it. From the 20 and the 17th code. We also what result it has yielded for the nation. But when he passed out, clearly there was a different direction. And me and you also recall that in the next 7 or 8 months, the first gentleman is leaving the post, and we will never know who's going to take over. So it's not just about putting it on paper, but as to whether Ministry of Youth and Sport, Ghana Football, the stakeholders, whoever is involved, or those closer to the president, they will implement it. Because
that was former Black Stars defender Sheila Iliasu, ending today's edition of Citi Prime News, which has been live from our studio in Adabraka, Accra. For more news, please visit citynewsroom.com. My name is Ajwa Tinkrama Domina. Many thanks for your company. Good afternoon.
City News, we speak first. Reach our hotline on 0302 224959 and get interactive on Facebook, Citi 97.3 FM, and on Twitter at Citi 973.